Hello everyone, this is Utpal Chetia. I am also an engineer and I've done my engineering bachelor's in aeronautical engineering and worked in research field for around 3.5 years before joining IIT Bombay. And my initial interest before joining IIT Bombay was into decentralized energy, solar energy. But gradually I have shifted to nutrition and health along with sanitation during my master's project, and the journey was very beautiful in the institute, and we had like mixture of theory and practicals, what we learned from textbook, whether it is applicable, whether it is meaningful at the field. So those things we realized through field visits here, and my journey into nutrition started with a very mishap, yeah, initially, and but I was not getting my masters from, not able to decide my masters topic. And one day I met Agnihotri sir, and Professor NC Narayan was also there near an workshop. So Agnihotri sir came to me and told like, okay, you have not decided your project till now, so do one thing. I work in nutrition, and NC sir works in sanitation. So you do a project like sanitation linkages with nutrition. So that was like initially was a very shock and was a real big burden, that how will I do something there, because I initially searched a lot of literature and not much was available, and wrote in Quora also, like, and somebody replied also initially there. And at last, thanks to Paresh, he has given me a book. It was newly released at that time, and it was on where India goes. So that book had a lot of insights for linkages with health and nutrition and with sanitation, with a very proper study of data available. So we at that time we had the NFHS 4 data. So took that data, and with support from NC sir and Agnihotri sir's guidance, we did something very good with that. And at last, it was published as a poster in Oxford University conference. So that was the anchor which actually drove me towards this nutrition um, field. And then got the fellowship, UNICEF fellowship, and came to Assam. Requested Agnihotri sir that if I can go to Assam and work there, and came here and started working here, and changed around 3 organizations as of now. And I am presently in Child in Need Institute as the state lead here. And talking about the journey here, the most memorable and the peaceful, I'll say, part here was the field stay, which I did with Apeksha, and we were in the Dang district of Gujarat. It is the only tribal district in Gujarat with lot of hills, lush greens, waterfall. Saputara is near that, and yeah, those 2 months was very peaceful, I'll say. Never had that much of peace in my life. It was very beautiful. That will always remain in my mind. That was a very beautiful moment, and we enjoyed a lot. Some batchmate also visited for a very short period of time at that time, and we went to Saputara also there. And regarding work now, working in varied kinds of projects. Yes, nutrition is a part of here, and working in tea tribe dominated areas, tea estates, and chor areas. Recently, we've been to a very far island in Gwalpara district. Went by boat for around 2 hours and then walk for around 3 hours. Love to go to these type of places. And so this another one interesting story which I'll share here is that during the I was with Coalition for Food and Nutrition Security before this, and we had so department had told us to do a field visit in a place where there is Bru tribe, Riang tribe, in Hailagandhi district. So it was very beautiful, and we went there, and then the district team has like told that okay, you guys came, we thought that he will never come because nobody goes there. So we went there to that place. So that's a that's actually that's in part is in Manipur. So it's like a pocket of Assam which is there. So we went there, and before going there we have to go to police and like write our names and all these things, so that if we don't come back then they will release a search party. So we went there. It was around 6 hours of going and then 6 hours of coming. We went to a village called Rifle Mara village, which name is only Rifle Mara because that village belongs to a group of people who were surrendered militants, and they have just surrendered some 4 months back at that time. And so we went to see a Bangladesh child who was the child of the that militant group's leader. So we went there, saw that, interacted with them, saw their lifestyle, which is quite different. And while going there, also we drank the river, this mountain water, which was very sweet. And so I'll say like yes, trying to link my work and life with the activities of Assam here, trying to enjoy. And thank you, Sitara, for uh, inventing this very beautiful course, and it has changed my life. And thank you to all the professors, especially Agnihotri sir, for guiding and showing the light during difficult times. And hopefully, I also hope that everybody in our group achieves something and contributes also something. That will be very amazing. And with this thought, like congratulations to the team, Mariam, and everybody who is doing this video part. And actually I think maybe in some years IIT Bombay nutrition group will be something which will be known in the nutrition circle a lot. Especially during the Poshan Maah, this will IIT nutrition group will be something. So with this thought, thank you very much. Thank you to everyone. Everybody had an impact. All people of nutrition group had an impact on my life. And thank you everyone. Thank you a lot.
Hello everyone, I am Sourabh Jhariya, recently graduated from Sitara IIT Bombay after my 2 years master's program. I've done 4 years bachelor's in agriculture engineering. Being from this domain, I was compatible with the curriculum of Sitara. During my coursework, I got to work in research topics like urban and rural nutri-garden under Professor Utpal. This led to my interest in nutritional domain along with other academic courses like food processing and nutritional delivery and other institute courses like introduction of machine learning, in which I did a project on sugarcane crop prediction using machine learning. I was introduced to HMIS data with its data visualization and insights which fascinated me. I am connected with Sitara Nutrition Group during my masters and have a keen interest in finding the agriculture and nutrition connect. My master thesis was on modified bamboo polyhouse implementation with entrepreneurship possibilities, which was implemented in three potential hill areas in Bhor Valley region in Pune district. The project was sponsored by Maharashtra Bamboo Promotion Foundation. The overall picture started from malnutrition prevailing, where people were unable to consume the food um, with the right recommended dietary allowance. The objective was to check the hypothesis that the protected cultivation of vegetable will bring out high crop yield compared to open cultivation. And other objective was to try to assess whether farmer would go for income generation from it or whether they will go for nutrient achievement through the vegetable consumption. The intention was to provide a varied diet as its consumption will bring out nutrient requirement possible for the farmer. The project created 5 to 6 entrepreneurs competent enough, including the farmers within the potential areas with the polyhouse construction and enclosed crop cultivation. As I provided them the skill development during my field stays and my field trials, and we gave the beneficiaries training program in the horticulture training center. Farmers were able to grow extra crops inside the polyhouse with more productivity, and they grow commercial crops which generated them double profit. This execution project helped me in the project management with the direct contact with the stakeholders and direct dissemination of the local solution. Furthermore, I have used design software for design modification of the polyhouse and noted the tedious troubles during the construction for the process standardization of the polyhouse. Currently, I am associated with Central Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare as a research fellow, where I am working in the AgriStack architecture platform, which is a digital ecosystem for agriculture, directly under the Joint Secretary, where I am documenting and researching on the core registries. Also, I am contributing in the concept paper of the National Pest Surveillance System, Pest Surveillance System, Faceless and Traceless Detection System, and I am analyzing the DGCIS data to promote agricultural commodity export to the potential countries in trade division. In order to rank the untapped potential, I am gathering information on export performance, target market, demand, market access requirement, and ties between exporting and importing countries. Finally, I would like to express my thanks to Professor Satish Agnihotri for his support and providing me these opportunities. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Dnyaneshwar Sanap, currently working as Sitara Nutrition Fellow at IIT Bombay under Professor Satish Agnihotri. Today, on the occasion of ongoing Poshan Maah, I will share my experience in working with nutrition group of IIT Bombay. A bit of my background: I did my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering, where I was involved in research related to use of artificial intelligence and industrial IoT for smart manufacturing. But my interest towards sustainable development, renewable energy, agriculture, etc., that motivated me to enter in the MTech program of Sitara. In 2019, after joining masters at Sitara, I learned the interdisciplinary approach of problem solving for grassroots levels, not only in terms of science, technology, or engineering mathematics, but also including the society, technology, environment, and management. While participating in various activities at IIT Bombay, I also got involved in the activities of nutrition group, where we got chance to work on different projects such as statistical analysis of malnutrition indicators, designing websites, handling national level data, and making inferences out of this and publishing the policy briefs. With an understanding towards need of holistic approach for reducing the malnutrition, during my master's project, I got a chance to explore the research on agriculture and nutrition connect in India. My master's thesis was under Professor Narendra Shah and Professor Agnihotri. I also received guidance from Professor Amit, Professor Pennan, and Dr. Rupal Dalal. We selected Palghar district of Maharashtra as our study area. We know that there is a higher prevalence of malnutrition in this district. I went on the field to understand the problem faced by rural population specific to Jawar block of this district through interviews based on structured questionnaires. We focused on the role of nutrition gardens in improving the dietary diversity and dietary adequacy. The constraints at farmer level were related to water scarcity in months of summer. There was also constraint which mentioned that heavy rainfall in the monsoon, and farmer also mentioned that they need protected cultivation from freely grazing animals after the winter. After studying the constraint faced by tribal farmers in growing nutrition garden, we developed a low-cost bamboo polyhouse structure, or we can say it as a greenhouse structure for ensuring the year-round production of vegetables. These structures can be used as a nutrition garden add-ons. With the help of NGO named BIF, we demonstrated two models of this bamboo polyhouse in Palghar district, and later we built three structures in Pune, and now we are still continuing the optimization of structure under new faculty Professor Charuchandra Pauli. So catch here is that we need to give farmers the least cost and most reliable protected cultivation. We have also made one short documentary on this work and also published one research paper. You can find the link in the description of this video. In recent days, we are talking about triple burden of malnutrition. The deficiencies in micronutrient is mentioned as hidden hunger in nutrition studies. To target the hidden hunger, dietary diversity plays an important role. For a rural household with limited access to vegetable market and their limitations on expenditure on these food items, it is important to have security and diversity in the agriculture production at their level. Considering the different constraints at farmers level, including the environmental factors, we tried to develop a mathematical optimization model for nutrition sensitive crop planning. Here we received the help from PhD student Agnihotri. We also developed a dashboard of techno-economics based analysis of agriculture allied activities. This dashboard can help the farmers in making the decisions on investment in such allied activities. The allied activities are similar to poultry, goat rearing, or we can say fisheries or floriculture. During my fellowship and after my MTech, Professor Agnihotri gave me an opportunity to work with Ministry of Women and Child Development at New Delhi. Along with the team of government officials and consultants, I got a chance to work on different schemes and projects at national level. We were involved in assessment of data quality, monitoring and evaluation of different projects, and analysis of big data coming from Poshan Tracker. One of the projects which I'm currently involved in is on the infant and young child feeding. For that, we are using national level survey data, including NFHS 3, NFHS 4, and 5, along with the CNNS and RSOC datasets. It is recommended to breastfeed a child exclusively during first 6 months, but it is observed that there is a reduction in percentage of exclusively breastfeeding children in months of summer while understanding the seasonality on this data. I'm also helping nutritionindia.info website development team for backend data handling. I'm also happy to share that weekly meetings of nutrition group are helping us to build new skills and understanding the health and nutrition, both the topics in more integrated way. With this, I would like to conclude by saying that to reduce the burden of malnutrition, we need to work in all possible ways. One must not be misguided by false advertisements and bad eating habits. For that, I will recommend the work done by Dr. Rupal Dalal under spoken tutorials. Thank you everyone and have a healthy life.
Hello all. We are today looking at Assam's journey from NFHS 4 round to the NFHS 5 round in terms of how the state has performed in respect of the children's nutritional status. Assam is one of the largest states among the seven sisters, and it's instructive to see how it has performed. If you look at the data, it tells us that Assam has not been able to reduce the levels of child malnutrition between these two rounds significantly, but it has performed well when it comes to child mortality. The anemia levels have not shown any decline, but that's a separate story of implausibility, and we will come to that. Overall, however, Assam has some way to go or some way to traverse before its districts can aspire to become malnutrition free or Poshan Maah. We also notice that there are considerable regional variations within Assam, which is a large state itself, in terms of the performance of different districts. So it is important to map this journey and appreciate the need for a more decentralized planning within the state itself. While doing this analysis, we have used the two sites, nhs4.indiagis.org for the NFHS4 data and maps, and nhs5.indiagis.org for the NFHS5 data and maps. So let us see what has happened to underweight. We see slippage, we see considerable slippage across most of the districts. The data range has worsened at both the ends from 15.8% children being underweight. It has jumped to 19.6% children being underweight on the lower end. And the upper end has moved from 39.5 to something like 52.5. While doing this analysis, we have used the same cutoff for NFHS4 and same cutoff for NFHS5 because we are comparing the state's journey vis-a-vis itself. It's not a comparison with other states or with the all India levels. When it comes to stunting, we see a bit of a mixed picture. The southeastern part and a cluster around Kamrup, they are showing gains. The lower data range has reduced. On the lower side, from 24.6% children being malnourished, it has marginally come down to 22.6. But that's a very marginal decline. We go to wasting. We again see slippages, except Kamrup, Nalbari and Shonitpur. Now this is something which will again come, but there's a sharp worsening in the data range. If you look at NFHS4, the lowest amount was 6.2% children being wasted. It has jumped to 11.6. It's almost a double figure. And from 30.6% children being wasted on the upper bound in NFHS4, this has gone to 42.9. Now that's considerable. Let us look at what has happened to severe wasting. Severe wasting, we again see a story of considerable slippage across the state, particularly the northeastern tip and the southern districts. It's a matter of worry because most states might not have reduced stunting or underweight, but wasting by and large we have seen a reduction. Here it's the other way around. If you look at the data range, in NFHS4, the district with lowest severe wastage was 0.8% children or less than 1% children being severely wasted, which could have created hope for getting a severe wasting free district. But this range has jumped to almost 3.6, threefold. And the upper bound has moved from 12.7 to 27.2. Is more than double. This is something which is a matter of worry, and the state needs to seriously look at this issue. However, one must give credit where it is due. If you look at the data for infant and under 5 mortality, you will see there is a considerable reduction. And interestingly, this reduction has happened both in the urban segment and in the rural segment. Now, this is important, and this has come against a backdrop of persisting malnutrition, which is interesting because often malnutrition is considered as a major contributing factor to child mortality or infant mortality. Here we see a case where infant mortality as well as child mortality has come down and fairly significantly, while the child malnutrition levels have persisted. Now this gap, I think, would require some further scrutiny and analysis as to why this might be happening. How does the anemia story unfold? We look at children in the 6 to 59 age group. we see a highly implausible story. What we see actually is that during NFHS 4, the lower bound was 24 odd percent children being anemic in the 6 to 59 month age group, and the highest was 52.6. Now in NFHS 5, the lowest is 53.3. That means the best performing district in NFHS 5 is worse than the best performing district in NFHS 4, which is completely implausible. So if we use the same cutoff that we have used for NFHS 4, the entire state turns red. And you can see it on a map. What we did was an interesting exercise, was to give a much higher cutoff or a much more charitable cutoff, just to see if there's a semblance of similarity. And that semblance of similarity comes at extremely high cutoffs, below 70% you have to color it green. Now this is not at all plausible. So one would not take the NFHS 5 anemia data for Assam very seriously and look for other corroborative evidence. We take this point further by presenting the data rather than the maps for NFHS 4 and NFHS 5 in 4 different population groups. Children who are below 60 months, all women in the 15 to 9 year age group, pregnant women in the 15 to 49 year age group, and non-pregnant women in the 15 to 49 year age group, because for them cutoffs are different compared to what is there for the pregnant. So what we see is the lower bounds have all jumped very substantially between NFHS 4 and NFHS 5. And as we had seen in the case of children, that the best performing district during NFHS 5 shows figures which are worse than the worst performing district of NFHS 4, which, as I said, is not plausible. The upper bounds have also jumped sharply. So this is something which will require a separate scrutiny altogether. What we see overall, Assam has shown considerable slippage when it comes to nutritional status of its children. Particularly worrying is the increase in the levels of wasting. However, the child mortality, infant as well as under 5 mortality, has reduced both in the urban segment and the rural segment. Anemia story continues to remain implausible, as we have seen in the other cases also, analysis of other states. So overall, Assam has a long way to traverse before looking at the possibility of an entire district becoming malnutrition free or Poshan Maah. But other states in the northeast or among the 7 sisters have actually fared better as far as this moving close to the goal post of becoming malnutrition free is considered, but that is a subject matter of a separate analysis. Assam could perhaps look at some of the districts, 1 or 2 or 3 which have performed all right, and probably look at a ICDS project within that district to see if that can be made malnutrition free, because that will give confidence to rest of the system that this feat is achievable in Assam. We leave the viewers with this thought, then move to analysis of another state. Thank you very much.